Boom.
I can't do this.
We're back. It's episode 84, day 1000 of Corona quarantine. We've got Cindy Altamirano in the house.
Hi.
And it's really hard to talk in this mask.
It is. Go
How you feeling? How you doing with this Corona logs?
You know, I've been living my best Corona quarantine life. I'm not gonna lie.
Such a weird time.
It is. It is. Look at us. Are we getting rid of these?
I'm done with it.
Okay, good. Whew. Who else feels like that taking these things off? Cause
What would you put your you dabble in a lot of things, so like what would you classify as a title? Would it just be a creative or a you know what I mean? Like how would you it's so
classify
hard to,
myself?
Yeah. It's hard to put ourselves I'm not trying to make you put yourself in the box, but
You're putting me in a box.
I'm kind of putting you in
I
a box.
hate that.
But you know what I'm
You
saying?
know I
Like
hate
I'm
that.
just saying like how would you describe it? Or how would you put it?
Yeah, I think I've come to terms with just being a creative, and I wake up every morning with understanding that I'm a woman, so I'm a huge creator out in this universe, and so
literally.
I like to literally, yeah. So my power is just in waking up and understanding that I'm here to be of service and to be my creative self, whether that's in playing with recipes and food and working through healing that way, or in styling or anything that I really do, working on my website, working on inspiring people.
It's a bunch of different things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Food is like one of the big things that we talk about, which is food. You love food.
All the time. It's my love
Because
language.
it's a little bit of everything. Is food a love language? Especially right now. Yeah, especially right now, being like in a weird time where you can't really leave your house and people rely on takeout food a lot, or they eat at restaurants a lot.
Yeah.
I know a lot of you are struggling. So what would
Yeah.
you mainly eat at home?
Yeah.
So
This has been interesting. Yeah.
how would you like if someone were to ask you like, right, they're like, I'm quarantined AF. Quarantine as fuck. What do I do if I don't how do I tap into this creative mindset of cooking? Like where do I start, or where would you suggest people start?
I always believe in like solid foundations and keeping things very simple and believing in like the basic nutrients that your body needs. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated, and I think we do that sometimes. Eating at home and sharing a beautiful meal with your family and with your loved ones is such a special thing. So much comes from that, and I think that a lot can be discovered, especially during these times. It could be putting together a meal with shit you just have left over in your pantry. It
Yeah.
could be lentils, and I don't know, but
But it's like a
throw
little
some
bonding
spices
experience
in there.
too,
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. It's really tapping into like what you're putting into your
And
body.
you're using all your senses, you
How
know,
so? Describe
and you're
how.
using smells, you know, and touching your, herbs and fruits and whatever as you're chopping. And it can be
Tasting
so
things.
therapeutic at the same time. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're tasting it. It allows us to almost become kids again at the same time.
Because it's like you're trying things out for the first time. Like,
Yeah. Ooh, what's this? What's this do? What if I toss it in there?
You always say we eat with our eyes first.
Absolutely, because I'm huge on presentation.
Yeah, I
you
know.
know that.
So, and it makes me think of like being a kid, and just like I remember I used to hate avocado. I thought I hated avocado. I didn't know shit. I was a kid.
The
But
color was
yeah, it was just
throwing you
looked
off.
gross, right?
Yeah.
And then one day I ate guac, and I was like, I could never eat enough of this.
Game
And they're like,
changer.
hey, idiot, that's avocado.
I know.
was
And
like,
now you understand how precious
You
it
eat
is
with
to
your
have an
eyes.
avocado tree and how that's currency. And
Yeah,
like,
I have an avocado tree.
don't tell people that.
And I have
I'm
a
always
gun.
like, no, they're all mine.
I have a gun.
I think that's so powerful. Yeah, avocado makes everything taste so much better.
Well, where did that love like in food for you come from, or how did you tap into it? Was it later on in life, or was it?
I think it was definitely later on in life, which I think a lot of variables played onto that. Growing up as a Latina and
super heavy in the household.
It's super
cooking.
heavy, you know, and it's like the women are the one that are supposed to learn how to cook and do this and learn how to do everything essentially. And so I think that I put a lot of resistance in
Maybe like a
learning
chore,
about
you
that
think?
talent. Yes, because I, for some reason, wanted to go completely against it. So the moment my mom told me, vení a aprender a hacer este arroz or
Yeah.
whatever, I would be like, fuck, why do I got to do it? And like, I took it as a thing where it was like very unfair,
A
you
chore.
know? Yeah, it was completely a chore. And so it took away for me, it probably wasn't the right approach for me to
exactly.
learn
That's the approach.
that. So yeah, it took away the beauty of the experience of food, which I
good.
think is very beautiful. And like, I think, yeah, who doesn't love food? Food makes us so happy.
Yeah.
Look at me, you fed
Yeah.
me some noodles right now,
Yeah.
and I was
We're
like,
having
okay,
chai lattes that I made.
oof.
Chai latte? Yeah, chai
Yeah,
latte.
they're
She
a
coached me
chai
through it.
turmeric latte
Yeah, you know,
that you just made
I got
for
some
us.
ingredients and stuff.
I mean, the oat milk is
drink.
not popping. Trader
There's
Joe's
oat-
needs
yeah,
to.
there's some Trader Joe's oat milk that I was trying, and it sucks. Don't
Didn't
get it.
froth the right way, but
No, it's just
it's
not
honestly
good.
still so tasteful.
It's all right, yeah.
Super
It's
nice.
not bad. Nice little chai latte. It's weird times
I'm
right
happy.
now. Just because, like, you know, people could also use this as an opportunity. And we were talking about this, how, like, there's this pressure to be, like, super busy. Or if you don't come out of this quarantine with a new skill, you're a lazy piece of shit. Or it's not a discipline issue.
It wasn't a lack of time; it was a lack of discipline. You
Yeah,
had
that's
the
what you were
entire
saying.
time.
Yeah. See, I'm glad you fixed that, because I was just shitting that out.
Yeah, that article I just read to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know,
And there is that pressure because you can't do shit right now, and it's
yeah.
super. You know, it's like this impotence, like where
Yeah.
you can't do anything.
You know,
can't force.
it's
Everything's
funny
closed.
because I feel like I've just been training for like this
Same.
moment, you know?
Yeah.
I've been such a homebody. I cook most of my meals at home. I believe in that and I love it. And I love to know all the oils and everything that goes into my food. So I've been doing that already for a while, but like just doing meditation workshops and retreats and understanding that
Because being at home puts you in a weird mental space where you can't, like,
you got to go in.
escape.
You can't escape from anything. So,
Yeah.
which is beautiful. You
But
got to
most
get
people-
through
yeah.
that darkness to discover that
It ain't
light.
going nowhere unless you want to be a 50-year-old alcoholic trying to run away from your traumas instead of healing them.
Trying to find all the vices
Yeah. I mean,
while you're going through economic hardship. So,
but it also exposes us. You know, we're like.
yeah.
We see how dependent we are. We don't. What happens when the grocery stores run out of food?
Yeah.
You know,
But I think it's beautiful
and
that
it's kind of what happens. And then
that we are discovering though that we
Yeah.
want to be self-sufficient and
self-sustainable.
sustainable.
Yeah,
You know, through this. So a
I'm about to
lot
grow
is
my
coming
garden.
up.
Y'all don't even
Oh,
know.
for sure. About to
I'm about
just make
to-
a whole greenhouse.
Going in.
Who needs them? Who needs any?
Yeah,
But I think it's beautiful that we
chickens.
are like this generation of like entrepreneurs, you know. I like call myself a creative, you know, and
Yeah.
like just I'm just all about maximizing my life experiences and learning how to make money from it and just enjoying it. But we're becoming this generation that doesn't like to feel dependent
Yeah.
of
Well, I just think we're
anything
being
or have this
exposed.
like attachment to things. Yeah, we are. A lot is coming up.
I think the fact that as an immigrant, right, like immigrant child or child of immigrants rather, we're afforded some of the luxuries of asking questions that maybe my parent wouldn't have had. You know what I mean? Because they're just like, I got to work, I got to feed this family, I got to do stuff. But I'm in my 30s now, and I don't have any kids, so I can ask questions like, is this the best way to do this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they weren't, you know, and it's the first also, like, pandemic in the last 100 years, you know?
Yeah.
That's been, like, or I guess there's been, like, the H1N1. There's been the
But it is a
swine
weird
flu.
time for immigrants and for
Especially them being
everybody.
at the front lines.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, I find that really beautiful. You know, we're learning to just appreciate everybody
And it's a part
because
of our
we're
culture.
all in this exact same thing. And actually, the people in the front lines are the people picking our fruits and veggies for us to eat. You know, the grocery workers, which again, I love to incorporate before my meal, my little prayer. You know, a little mantra. Just give them a little shout out and give my gratitude. You know,
Yeah,
and
I've
say
been
my
doing that
thank
too.
you.
I've
It
been doing
feels
that too.
nice,
To,
doesn't
like-
it feel like
Yeah.
so much more relaxing and meditative when you are going into having a meal and you just give all your thanks, and you just say, you know what,
Take a couple seconds.
thank you to the workers.
Couple
Thank you
seconds.
to all the hands that went into this beautiful meal.
Yeah.
Allow it to be nourishing and healing.
Because I'm about to eat the shit.
Because I'm about to eat the shit out of it and enjoy it thoroughly. Yeah. It's interesting times. I think a lot of beauty, and like I said, I've been doing a lot of that work going into like practicing gratitude from the moment I wake up, and I've been doing that for a while. It's actually been one of my non-negotiables. You know, it's just my
like
three main
non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 3 things in the morning.
I don't
right?
do anything else in the morning. Yeah, I don't do anything before I do at least 3 things that I'm thankful for. I'll just say them in my head or write them out.
Anything.
Or they could be literally
Tiny.
anything. The tiniest thing.
For these
Me,
warm
myself,
sheets.
my breath. For
Yeah.
these sheets, for my house, for this roof over my head.
It's nice weather outside. I'm thankful for that.
I mean, we're in LA. We're so spoiled.
Yeah.
I mean, we got so much to be thankful for.
Yeah.
Especially right now, you know, our health,
It's in a weird time.
everything.
I don't know. I think it's good for us. Like I'm a huge like proponent of like people don't change until they absolutely have to.
Till it's in your face.
Yeah, like people, you know, they don't watch their health because it's always in the future. It's the indefinite future where you're like, you know, if you do this every day, you might get cancer.
Yeah.
And then you don't think about it. And then that day comes and you're like, oh no, I can't drink this much every day, or I can't do this much every day, whatever it may be, the vice. I can't smoke a pack of cigarettes a day, and then I can't tan every day and not get skin cancer. You know, like
I think it's the like extreme of things in the way we like go into most things, or just not wanting to see them, or living in this like autopilot mode, you know, where we're just going to work all the time, going to work. We don't even check in with our breath. Did we breathe enough? Did we breathe right? Yes. Society, culture. I mean, the beauty of travel brings you all of these things into perspective. But
I posted on Instagram a lot. The breath, like,
yeah,
it's so cheesy. It sounds so little. Not
I
cheesy,
believe in it.
But you know what I'm saying? Like just sitting.
My God, catch. I mean, for girls
Right
also, I have little moments. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's just do 3 deep breaths. All right, and 2 more. Last one.
I could hear Nala doing it with us at the same time. It's so nice.
She's sleeping deep. She's in her zone right now. I hope y'all did it with this, because if you didn't, you'd totally miss an opportunity.
Do it. Check in with yourself. It's so important.
It's such a little
thing. We hold our breaths a lot. I actually didn't realize that.
When we're nervous, when we're anxious, when you don't even notice it. You have short breathing.
Yeah.
Almost like a dog. And if you notice, you know, Nala has like crazy anxiety. And she'll go, and it's like the same thing we do.
We do the same thing.
We don't even realize it.
Dogs just mirror right back to us. They really do.
Does that mean I'm anxious as hell always?
Well, don't you think of it like they're a version of you? Oh, you didn't know you worked at 100 miles per hour all the time?
I know. I need to slow down. But I do, like, even when I wake up in the morning sometimes and it's hard to get out of bed, if you just sit up and take a few deep breaths, it gets so much easier. And then you just get up, stretch your little patitas out, your little shoulders out.
And it's nice to wake up that way when you're just like, it's not this like aggressive wake up, because your body also goes into like almost like a shock when you do that. So you'll notice that like your back tenses up a lot, you know, your jaw will clench or whatever. For me, it's all from my neck to my lower back. If I just jump right out of bed like that, it just... It's not good. I like a slow little wake up, a nice, gentle, slow morning.
Actually, you know, I for years I worked for a corporate company, and I used to have to wake up like at 3 or 4 in the morning, and I was doing the most. You know how I do it.
Yeah.
And I was like playing in a band.
Madre.
Yeah, I was playing in a band, and I was like, I was going to college, and I was working like 60 hours a week, so I would sleep during the day a couple hours, and then I would sleep at night a couple hours. And I had these aggressive alarms, or like bam, 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 and I'm like, oh my God, it's just this terrible sound, and my heart would literally hurt because it's almost like, you know, like literally and I was also like drinking a bunch of energy drinks. It's probably not good for you.
Oh God.
And like, so even doing something simple, like my alarm is like a harp. You know, it's like.
Yes.
right?
Changing little things like that in the morning are so helpful.
It's so much of a softer wake up than
It's
like,
setting the tone for the day.
it's like basically somebody scaring you to like awake. Oh my God, that's what your alarm is.
One
like,
of the worst
alarm.
feelings.
I know, I hate that.
It's one of the worst fucking feelings, actually.
I get mad. I get cranky. If you
Yo, don't come at me in the morning.
do that. I'm asleep.
Be ready.
Especially if I'm like good sleeping.
Oh God, yeah, in that like really deep state, and then you just boom, it just hits you. My mom grinding her coffee, just boom.
We're fighting, Mom.
That's one of the worst feelings. I hate that. I usually like to tell people though, just so you know, be gentle when you wake me up.
But even being gentle, right? It goes to speak with like I think you are. I got to get better at this, but I think we all could take this as an opportunity to be gentle on ourselves. Like we ask so much of ourselves, and sometimes just being is enough. Like people care about you, people exchange energy with you, and that's enough. Sometimes sometimes that's enough to justify your whole existence. You don't need to be. I don't know. I guess we place our value like monetarily on things, or if I accumulate this much money, then I matter, or if I have this house, then I matter, or sometimes we can't do anything right now. It's kind of crazy, and I get it. When you have a family, it's a different story.
I mean, when you're out here in this universe as a physical form, monetarily, like we have to produce and we have to do certain things in order to survive out here. But what is really beautiful right now is that the universe really does have your back, and the government will take care of you somehow. And somehow money is going to come through for you. And it's okay to understand that, if you got laid off or whatever, like, it's nothing personal, especially right now. It's beautiful. Yeah. You know that, times are just tough for everybody, and everybody's literally in this together. And be gentle. Like, there's nothing you can do, honey. Like, chill the fuck out. Yeah. Go meditate. Move your body. You're
everyone's going as a planet, as a whole.
Yeah, so that's actually really beautiful. Rather than going through this shit. I've had my moments where I've done that shit by myself. No work, laid off or whatever, and it's like, holy fuck, the world feels like it continues to move, and you keep on feeling, feeling like shit about yourself, essentially.
I was telling you, I feel like I've been training for this too, just because, when I first started working in entertainment, like, nothing is guaranteed, right? Like, if you don't work, and that's kind of what I gave myself. I didn't really give myself a plan B. I like to jump 2 feet into things. Mm-hmm. I don't suggest it, but it works for me. And that's the uncertainty. I've grown comfortable in the uncertainty of like not knowing where my next job is going to come from, and then ultimately knowing that I'm always good. It actually ends up being better than what I wanted initially. Sometimes you think you want something, and then it's like, nah, something better happens on accident.
Yes. Surrender to that. Because
I feel like the universe is kind of like, it's a kind of like silly sense of humor. I mean, if you like personify the universe, right, quote unquote, or God, or whatever you want to say, where it's like you ask for things and you get them. This is a perfect example. I'll tell you right now. You ask for things and you get them, but not exactly the way you asked for them.
Yeah.
And like not everything comes gift wrapped. Sometimes it does. Sometimes you strike gold and you just get exactly what you want.
You better take that and you better be in the receiving mode.
Yeah, and be like, oh my God, this is great. I just can't believe I found $20 on the floor.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, right? Yeah. But then sometimes you're like, man, I would like. So this is my example. Joe Exotic, right? Mm-hmm. From Tiger King. I'm sure most of the people have seen it.
Yeah.
He wanted so bad to be the most famous man in the world, right?
Yeah.
For being this Tiger King and putting these tigers in cages and lions in cages, crazy animals. And now he is. Mm-hmm. And he's in jail behind bars. He's the most famous person on the planet, or on the U.S. at least.
It's what he wanted.
It's what he wanted, right? But it didn't come the way he wanted it. Not everything comes gift wrapped. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I feel
so be careful what you ask for.
That's absolutely. That's where that saying comes from, I've caught myself also in different points in my life where I'm like, oh, holy shit, it's right here, right in front of my face. It's happening right now. Mm-hmm. I better get ready. I better align myself. This is what I wanted.
And be specific.
This is what I said I wanted.
Be more specific too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're more specific, I think you'll find ways.
Oh, and it's really wild, too, when you start exploring into that and you start asking the universe for what you want, in general terms or whatever, and then you start getting it, then I think you become more comfortable with being specific, with numbers or the things that symbolize whatever you want.
And I think like,
life.
okay, maybe it's say for example, like somebody who doesn't want to believe in any spiritual way or any type of coincidence. I think even if you take it in a way where like it's just the brain works. I had a teacher who used to say like when you're hungry, you see the restaurants.
Yeah.
Right. And it's kind of the same thing. So when you ask questions to the universe, but really you're just kind of asking your brain in a lot of ways too. Like I want to do this one thing. Your mind's gonna keep looking for ways for this one thing to come true. And you can apply, you know, they say like people can accomplish a lot when you apply your mind to things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think just asking that, even of yourself or of whatever.
Yeah.
Asking the question,
really,
asking for it.
It's like when they say, you know, that we do have all the answers and the answers are within.
Yeah.
That's, you know,
So simple.
you have all the answers.
It's like an ancient proverb.
You know, it's like this like Buddhist little phrase, you know, and it sounds
Instagram
so
quote,
foreign and it's so simple and you're like, okay, but where the fuck are these answers?
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
I need somebody to tell me what the fuck this is or what it means. But really, we've had the answers within us this entire time.
Because nobody is playing your video game.
Right.
You are. Yeah. You know what I mean? And video game, I mean life, right? I like to compartmentalize it. But I'm like, nobody's playing the game. You are.
You like to say that because you like to go into like avatar mode.
Yeah,
like I'm
It's
gonna
like
work out so I can get this like buff little avatar.
Yeah. I'm doing my reps.
Eat right, chop up all the celery.
Hell yeah. It's like Sims or Afterlife or
Absolutely.
Second Life.
I mean, I think it's a great way to look
There's
at it.
a big thing now. Like it's a big community, Second Life, where it's like, you know, it's a big company where the people use this VR and they meet people and they have different identities and different avatars and they meet in this virtual
world we're living
playground.
in.
Who knows if we're not already there?
We're already there. Look at us right now on Zoom calls with DJs and having full-on parties.
I'm just saying this now.
This
like,
is what we're living in.
If you look at like, if you're gonna get super deep down the rabbit hole, like if you look at things that all these quantum physicists point to, like, oh, everything points down to a similar equation that, according to probability, we're already living in a virtual reality. Who knows what kind of beings we are outside of this, right? We're connecting this. When I ask you, like, where is Cindy, right? Where is she? Is she watching the game? Or is it behind your face? Is it in your head? Where is Cindy, right? Where is the source of all of this shit that you're putting out, right? And that's a super, I don't even know what the word is. It's super
deep.
Kind of,
deep question.
Introspective question. It's a super introspective question.
Yeah.
Where are you? And it sounds so basic, but I mean, like, where are you? Who is... Because if I think about
it... But that's interesting because we go about life and we don't even think about that. Because when you just asked me that right now, I was like, whoa, what a reflective question, you know? Yeah. And I think that when you ask me, where is Cindy, blah, 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 I think that I just went into this like, okay... Where was I at this morning when I meditated? Because when I meditate, I feel like that's when I really look in this like outer perspective where I'm able to take myself away.
Outer body experience. Almost.
Yes.
You're watching
then
yourself.
I can really, I
always
check in with the movie I'm creating.
Exactly.
So it's basically like I'm the director of it all the time, but I'm also the actress, the main fucking lead. Yeah. And now I'm like, I'm going. It's like when you get lines thrown at you, for example, and then you're there and the cameras are rolling and you're just going with it, right?
And you got to remember that this is all make believe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
It's all make believe. And I know I'm excited. It's a lot of good things happening, which is kind of strange. I was telling you this because it's like it's a super depressing time. Mm-hmm. But for me, like everything is panning out so wonderfully, so wonderfully, and I just kind of feel guilty a little bit. And I've had this. I remember I forgot who I was talking to here, where when I first started making money as an entertainer, as myself, like, you know, and making like real money. Not that little fucking gold chocolate money. You know those little golden coins that are chocolate? Yeah. We'll pay for, what is it? Pay in credit or experience or
paying gum.
Working with, paying Trident. Working with experienced director, you know. No, I don't work for free. But when I started making money, and I would just get these residual checks where it's like 10 grand in the mail and like 7 grand in the mail, 5 grand in the mail. It was just weird feeling of like, I didn't earn this. Mm-hmm. And like, I'm not deserving or I felt guilty about it. Yeah. And a friend had to put it in perspective where they're like, no, dude, that's back pay for all the years you ate shit. Like, you've just been eating mountains of shit.
Sometimes you have to eat that humble pie.
Yeah. And then you grow from it, hopefully. Or you fold. Yeah. That's what separates people, I think. You know?
Yeah. I
You've
think
traveled.
it's as an artist and as an entrepreneur, you're always on this journey of like keeping it going, but then always having these moments too where you're questioning everything, you know? And I think it's that work and consistency and seeing things grow, just like a plant, you know, when you plant a seed, it's going to fucking take some time. And it's going to grow and it's going to flourish. And next thing you know, you're getting all these deals thrown at you or whatever. And it's life just showing you like, but I think that you're going on the right, you're on the right track.
But if you are on the right track, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're not.
Life will let you know.
It'll let you know.
TBD,
as they say, to be determined.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you've traveled a lot, so you've kind of gotten to see how like different cultures live. How many countries you been in?
I think it's about 25 now.
Damn, get your passports out.
Get those stamps.
What do you think is one of the biggest things you've learned from just seeing how many different cultures live? You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's a whole little different planet essentially.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Every country, it's like essentially their own little world. Even our heads are our own little worlds. And when we're in LA, you go somewhere, you know, just a few miles down and you're like, oh shit, they move differently around here. Yeah. This shit's wild. Yeah. So yeah, hopping on a plane and going to see different countries. And it's interesting because the world feels so big and you feel so small. That's actually one of my favorite feelings.
Really?
Like,
that's a big planet and you're small?
Yeah. I love like being humbled in that way where I feel like I still have so much to learn and discover and I'm yet to see so much. And when I think you're in this like, you know, different country and you're getting to see how people do different things and what they think and believe in, it just makes you really feel like you really ain't shit and you haven't done shit. Like, you got to continue to live, you know, and are we good?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
It's humbling because you're a little speck. So that don't get cocky. Yeah. That's what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. You know? And I like that reminder.
Yeah.
I like that, you know.
What's your approach? You just buy a flight and go?
Yeah. Yeah. Literally. Yeah. That is the way to do it.
Don't be scared, homie.
I mean, there's kind of little hacks and tricks and.
But you learn those,
I love
right?
to share those, but you know, you definitely learn those.
Give me a few. Give me a few hacks and tricks of going. Just a general hack.
Always inquire. Like, always start looking for flights ahead of time. And let's say
do your homework.
You don't know when you're gonna get vacation time or whatever. Book that shit. If it's January and you're finding a flight for hella cheap to go, I don't know, Greece, Mexico, wherever in November, book that shit and then figure out the rest later. And now you have something to like work really hard towards. You can get insurance.
Like if that way you move a date.
But don't. But that way you're like,
you're committed.
No, I'm committed and I'm going there. I'm going to figure it out. And then you start working your way backwards and planning and discovering things. And everything's on YouTube these days, you know?
Give me a second hack.
I always like to. I'm gonna share. Always
She's gonna give it away. She's like, damn it, I'm gonna give my gold.
No, this one's great.
Give it away.
Everybody should be doing this before you book a place. Always email them. Like if it's your Airbnb or hotel, always email them and let them know what you're going there for. Be nice, be sweet. Everything is done with a little bit of honey, right? Everybody will come through.
That shit works wonders. If you're super nice to people,
give some love and they'll give you love.
They're just gonna be like, even if they don't like him, like, damn, he's pretty damn nice.
Yeah, you know,
I didn't like
just
him,
like
but
inquire about anything. Literally, I've gotten like bottles of wine, just like little trips, little extra perks or things.
Just
people
ask.
love to make you feel good, and you know, if you're sweet and you're nice, I think they'll put something out there for you. So always inquire. You know, if it's your birthday, if you're celebrating an anniversary, whatever it is, you just got married. But let them know that you're going, you're showing up to their hotel or Airbnb, and that you would love to include them in your experience and to take away this memory with them, you know, and kind of word it that way that, you know, they'll throw something in there for you.
That's for free.
Yeah, they might upgrade you. I've gotten upgraded at my hotels for little things like that. I
just got married. Really? Yeah. You show up by yourself.
Use that one.
She said no. You know what? You can take the penthouse.
It's fine. It's fine.
We feel bad for you. You get the penthouse. That's pretty good.
Whatever.
She said no. You show up in a tux.
I just got divorced.
Yeah,
I don't know. Whatever.
No.
Use whatever you
She stood me
can.
up in the aisle. I was gonna get married. That's what I booked it for, man. Could you give me the penthouse?
You never know.
You don't.
It's that
And then
law,
what about-
right? You ask and you shall receive. Again, it's that.
These little ancient proverbs that like make so much sense sometimes when you listen to them, where you're like, I've heard this my whole life.
I know. Just start applying them, really. Yeah.
Even like little songs I listen to, like row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. That means chill out.
Yeah.
That's all they're saying.
Yeah.
Chill the hell out. You can't control the ocean, but you can control how your raft is, right? If you're all paniqueado out, right? If you're all losing it, being a little wiggle worm, you're going to drown.
How do you problem solve when your head's all over the place?
Yeah, exactly. When your head's all up, when your energy's everywhere and you're scattered, you can't, especially that, and that's the problem too. I think that's the block that a lot of people are having during this quarantine. Yeah. They're stressing out because they got so many different components that have stopped, producing for them, right? There's streams of income, there, all these different things they got to think about. And they're like, okay, now you're asking me to be creative. I can't be creative when I'm all fogged up,
Absolutely. I think that one of the things I've learned in my darkest moments is that we need to remain able to learn
or malleable.
to lessons. Yes. But not only that, as humans, we have to remain capable of changing. We're ever evolving. But not only that, the things around us are always changing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot we cannot control. And
to
live at peace and happy with yourself, the only thing that's constant is change. Yeah. Accept it. Welcome it. Invite it in.
It's usually good.
It's usually good. It feels weird because you're getting shaken up and you're like, oh, holy shit.
It's your control. The control.
Yeah,
you want to control.
It's the control thing. Yeah. I get it. I plan out my days like a psycho.
So
I'm very big on just everything needs to be in order. But there's times where I got to remind myself, remain flexible to these changes. Because then only good comes from it anyway.
Yeah. You're not going to, again, like it only creates, everything has a benefit up until like a certain point. There's a point of diminishing returns. I feel like with most things, and you can't, too much of anything is bad. Too much discipline, right? Because I look at countries, you lived in China, right? The discipline there for the students is insanity, right? But what is that doing to the psychology of their population, right? Is that creating happier people? Probably not. It's probably creating efficient people, but I don't know if that's the happiest people,
Yeah, I think it creates this thing of like becoming almost like a robot.
What was that like? First of all, China. Because there's a lot of China drama.
Yeah,
you lived there for 3 years.
There's a lot. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've been prepping for this moment. Like, I'm happy. I'm in LA. Like, I've been prepping for this. I saw it. I lived in China for about 3 years.
What part of China?
I was based there. The first 2 years, I was in a city called Dongguan, 2 hours from Hong Kong. And then my last year I was in Beijing, so totally different vibes.
What's the first thing that was like tripping you out when you got there?
So many things. The
little
toddlers pooping down the streets. As I'm
elaborate
just walking
on this, please.
On the sidewalk.
Elaborate on this, please, because I had to Google it.
Yeah, that was funny. You couldn't believe.
I couldn't believe it.
I know, it's very foreign.
What's the story? So tell the story. How'd you discover that people poop on the street?
I'm walking to the gym from my apartment, and then I see this little boy literally like squatting
on the sidewalk.
On the sidewalk.
Okay.
And I see little pile of poop just droppings, and I see the grandma like right next to him. Usually the grandparents take care of the kids.
I'm with that.
During the day.
I like that.
It's nice. They apply certain traditional aspects to life, which I think is really cool.
So she's next to him, just coaching him through his little poop?
Yeah, they even do this little whisper thing, and it's almost like...
They sing to them while they poop?
Like a whisper song for them to, like, I guess, get comfortable, with pooping.
In front of people on the street?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I wouldn't be comfortable pooping in the street. If I was a little 4-year-old boy. Yeah. How old was this boy, you think?
I think they're smaller. I think they look like they're 2.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Did she pick up the poop?
I don't think she did. I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's
Yeah.
another detail. What was the little
Should.
boy wearing?
Oh, okay. So this is interesting. It's super common that the little kids will wear this, but they're like little baby pants that have an opening in the back. It's like a circle
You
with
just see a
like
little, you
little
just see little butt
buttons
cheeks.
around them. Yes.
Sometimes they're
Yeah,
open. They just walk
sometimes
her open.
they're just
open.
completely open and there's nothing between their crotch area to the back of like
It's just
the
a hole
butt.
where you see the butt's hanging out. Kind of like
Just
Lizzo.
so it's like easy,
like
you know.
Lizzo's shirt. Lizzo's shirt at that game. I don't know if you guys saw that. Lizzo.
Somewhat like that.
That's exactly like that. That's what it looked like. I'm gonna put up a comparison here. I swear. I'm gonna do something. Cause, and then they poop on the street.
Yeah.
And
So
they
that
wear
was like
these
my
poopy
initial
pants.
like culture shock. Like my initial.
I'm
like,
out.
Whoa,
I'm out, China.
This is crazy. This is
out.
what I signed up for. Yeah.
What about like what's another crazy thing that you saw was maybe dangerous or scary or alarming, right?
I mean, definitely the way the kids train, the way they're very like advanced, the way.
What do you mean, like in school?
Yes. They're just being trained like all day.
Like little zombie.
Like little zombies. I mean, they're learning a
Not
different
zombie, maybe that's the right word,
language.
like what are those things called? Like little like Russian spies or something.
Yeah.
We're training them from the age of like 2 to like play piano and play violin and speak 8 languages.
Yeah, just to like be just incredible.
And they
But-
are? Does
but-
it work? It works, I'm assuming.
Absolutely. They're extremely smart and very disciplined. But there's also, it's so extreme, you know, there's a lot on the news about kids who actually kill themselves, like high school students who kill themselves because
Happens
there's
here
so
too.
much pressure on school, you know, that they're not passing or that their grades are not up to standard, you know, because their parents are paying all this money for them to go to school and learn all these languages and, you know, play an instrument, and they get a lot of pressure.
They ask more of them, which is kind of crazy because I like, you know, say what you want, but there's got to be a balance. But a lot of times pressure makes diamonds when you ask more. There's a way, right, to do it. I mean, again, there's a point of diminishing returns. But I'm sure the more you push a child, the more, you know, they'll produce. And I'm
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. I mean, you have that like age, you know.
But they're probably missing some
where
kind of
you can-
emotional thing with their parents. If you're hammered, they send
Absolutely.
them away or no?
Yeah, most of the time, the school that I worked at was
You were teaching?
So I taught English there, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 5th grade. So I taught for a year there, and you know, I saw that these kids stay at school they get dropped off on Sunday. They're there till Friday. They get picked up and they go back to their village or their home with their parents. But they live there. It's a private school and they're there all day, you know, on a full schedule where they maybe just get
So then
Just
they
maybe
never go
like-
home?
maybe like an hour or two of just being maybe a kid, you know, in the evening.
But they never go home?
No, they get picked up by their parents on Fridays and go home
And then drop off
and
on
then come
Monday.
back on Sunday. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
kind of like boarding school, essentially.
It's yeah.
Was it
yeah.
boarding school? Mm-hmm. Is that common out there? Is that more
It's
common?
very common. Yeah, it's very common for kids to go to school out of like their village or whatever. So they go into like the city.
It's
where
not a class thing? Like they don't have to pay for these schools?
They do because it's private. So like the one that I taught was very expensive, and so it just depends, you know.
Do you think culturally they place more value on education than we do? Maybe.
Than we do?
Yeah.
I think that the kids appreciate it more because they have this thing instilled in their heads that their parents are paying for it. So I
even
think
though
they
they're poor?
take it more serious. Yeah, because even though they're poor, you know, their parents might be just, you know, doing whatever they can to get by to put their kids through school.
I feel like that's like the
You know,
the
it's
classic, you know, tale of like a movie or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
and
oh my
out
God.
here, you know, it's public school and
Yeah.
and I think that
Which isn't great.
a lot of
All the
kids
time.
just don't take it as serious, or as, you know, when you're little, you're like, fuck, I have to go to school.
I hated school.
It's like,
It was not for me. It was just not.
that's why I never saw you.
Yeah, no. We went to the same high school. Never talked.
Somewhere.
Never talked. I knew everybody. I was voted most talkative.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny.
And you were voted most fashionable. Check out the swagger, though. These are facts. Look at the yearbook.
Look at the yearbook. 06, Omar yearbook.
Somebody got it. Somebody got it. I'm in there just, hey, I talk a lot. ¿Qué onda? And then flash forward 15 years or whatever it's been. Here I am talking.
Yo, I've been dodging you, though.
Still haven't shut the fuck up. Yeah, for real. We when I was a baby, we lived a block from each other.
That's weird. That is so weird. Like when my parents first moved to the States, they moved to
Hollywood.
what was it, Loma Linda and like Sunset or
yeah.
something.
And I was on
and he was on the street like right
next
behind
street.
me.
Yeah, on Sunset. It was like the
Fucking
first few months of my
wild.
life before we moved.
Yeah.
My dad bought a house in South Central after that. But we were there
Yeah.
a block from each other.
But I was like,
it's
skirt,
also,
skirt,
yeah,
skirt,
yeah.
skirt.
No.
Not here.
Not here. Get away. I was a travieso. Yeah, school was not for me.
I was such a good kid.
Yeah.
There's times where I look back and I'm like, I was too obedient. As a
No.
girl, I don't know. I just think it's important
It's
sometimes
probably better,
to
though.
just
It's
be a
probably
little
better.
bad.
No. Do it later in life. You can be bad later in life. You don't have to do it when you're young. I think there's a lot of pressure, especially the young girls that grow up so much faster than they need to. Take your time. Enjoy just being a young kid.
Yeah.
You know, like
Absolutely.
Because one day you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, I miss that so much."
Yes. Yes.
I would do
No pressure.
a lot of things to
just
go
being a
back to
kid.
that. Yeah, and just like not worrying about things, not having to. Again, as a teenager, like everything seems like such a big deal. 'Cause I teach kids, right? I teach music on my free time. I haven't during this quarantine. We're figuring out a way to put videos together, online things or whatever for them through this nonprofit. But it's I forgot my point. I was rambling.
You were talking
Yeah.
about
Oh, yeah. Well, when you're in high
being
school,
a kid.
everything is such a big deal, right? Because your parameters are like this wide.
Yeah.
You only have, from, your point of view, you've only lived, 14, 15 years or whatever it is, 16 years, 18 at the most. And, getting dumped by your boyfriend. It's like, oh my God, I'm never going to be happy.
Yeah, you feel like that's
makes me think
it
of
for you.
Yeah, that
That's
makes
the
me
end of the
think
world.
Of what we were watching. What was that thing we were watching with the girl on meth?
Oh, the show on YouTube that I love
it's
to
on.
watch.
Is it through Vice News?
No, it's not Vice. It's something. Oh,
I don't know, but it's these
do you wanna
stories
look it up? I can
of
look it
like no, it's fine. It's like these stories of.
I love to watch it. It's like different series. It's like a guy
Just
that
people.
does almost like a documentary style, but not really.
yeah,
And he
it's a documentary.
features. It's documentary.
Style, yeah.
He features different people that live usually in Skid Row, and there's just so many different stories.
If you're not from LA, there's a giant homeless population in Los Angeles, and it is literally the Walking Dead.
yeah,
It's the and with like
trippy.
Lambos parked right next to tents.
It's trippy. That's
And
how
like
LA is.
Porsches
Yeah,
and shit. It's such a trip. I've been down there, and
Yeah.
it's
shady.
super shade.
Yeah,
That's why
But-
I don't tell girls too. Like they're like, I'm gonna go give some stuff to the poor. I'm like, that was a nice crack. I heard that.
you heard that?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's
We're like,
funny,
I'm gonna
and
get some stuff to the poor. I'm like, be careful if you're a young woman, like a young defenseless woman. Like you're just gonna go
Yeah.
give stuff. Like these people, there's a lot of drug abuse.
Sweet and all, but you gotta
Just
be
go
a
through an
little
organization. Go drop it off at a women's shelter. Go drop whatever, man.
careful. I mean, you could go out there, but I mean,
Or go with
go
company.
out
Do
there
it
with
smart.
a few people.
Do it smart.
Yeah. Just be strategic.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good word.
It's like you can't roll up to the hood just like
No, man.
without any plans
No,
to just cruise around.
Yeah, you're asking for like a bad. That's a bad recipe. You're not asking for it,
But
but
we
it's a
were
bad
talking
recipe.
about being childlike.
Yeah.
Is that what we were talking
Yeah.
about? I mean, I just thought about how, there's days where I've really enjoyed being in quarantine because I'm like,
It's like being a kid
nobody's telling me to shower. I'm an adult. I got this.
I don't have to do shit.
Hey,
I don't have to
Mom.
go to work.
Watch TV all day.
Yeah.
Not shower.
Kind of, right? What a like connect. Maybe this is something we've disconnected ourselves from. I feel like, it's funny. It was my little brother's birthday yesterday. I don't know if I told you this. No, I didn't tell you this. And he's funny. He turned 20, and he, he's like 12 years younger than me or whatever. So we were singing him happy birthday, and we were just being silly, like happy birthday, right? We're just being my brother and I. And
Ya queremos.
yeah, and we're singing, we're filming him, and we have like a cake and all that stuff, and he's like this serious face.
He was doing that?
Yeah, he doesn't want to smile, right? I'm like, and we're like, come on. My brother grabs him and like makes him like dance and stuff, and like he's just stop, and he bros, and I'm like, it's this like, he wants to be such a grown up, right? Because he's the youngest, for both my parents, so
And y'all are just over it.
Well, no,
So there's like a time I think when
Yeah.
you're growing up and then you're like, fuck this.
Well,
I'm
I
gonna
think
just do me.
that's
and
the
it doesn't
illusion.
even
I
fucking
think
matter.
I think he thinks that adults are serious, right, or
Yeah.
stoic,
Yeah.
that don't enjoy, like, you know. So, and that's the
Yeah.
illusion. I think when you ask a kid to pretend to be an
True.
adult, they get super serious and they're like, "I'm going to work,"
Yeah.
right? And that's an
how
adult.
we come off.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, why can't you be? My teacher used to say this. Shout out to Diana Castle. Be childlike, but not childish.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, so important.
You
Men.
know. Yeah, men. Really? You think so? You think it's more of I mean, it makes sense. You think it's more prominent with men? Maybe it's the circles.
I
we're
mean,
in.
don't misinterpret that. We said childlike, not childish. Is what I mean.
Oh, childish. I see
Yeah,
what you're saying.
that's
I
what
see
I
what you're saying.
mean.
Okay.
No, I think.
Ooh,
I think
she throw some shade.
you know, I like to stir up
little
conversations,
sazon. I get it.
little challenging conversations.
I think it's both ways. It's both ways.
Conversations,
Same.
I should say.
It's both ways.
I think so. I think a lot of the times women will do that and get caught up with being like super serious as well in life and being an adult. We all do it.
We got off topic. We were going to talk about these drug addicts, and this girl,
Yeah.
she's 21, right? She's a drug addict,
Yeah.
right? Was she a drug addict? Yeah, she was on meth, right, or whatever.
Which one are we talking about?
The prostitute. She's 21.
Oh,
remember the young one?
Yeah.
Had a daughter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This girl, we were just talking about how like she finds a way to justify herself being a prostitute in her mind and having a pimp and all this stuff, and she thinks her life is over, and she's 21.
Yeah.
She's like, nah, it's too late for me. You know, it's too late. Like I just been in the game too long. Yeah. She's been a prostitute since she was 13 years old, right? And there's so much trauma and so much damage, and it's crazy because you heard the way she spoke to yourself. You were like, oh my God, this is like me speaking to myself. Where you're like,
yeah, there was a moment where she was like, I wake up and I'm like, you know what? You are beautiful.
In the mirror.
You are this in the mirror. You know, I love my life. I love my
yeah.
family.
Yeah. You got
and
to.
I was like, that is me, girl. Yes, that's how I speak.
And
to
then
myself.
she says,
but then she said,
because I have to say that because you know I'm gonna go prostitute myself. Otherwise,
yeah.
You know,
and I was like, oh,
I know. I'm
damn,
like, you're a child, girl.
Damn.
And you look at her face. She looks young.
I mean, the thing is, we can interpret anything in our minds, right? Where it's so powerful. Our minds are so powerful. We can literally twist and make any story sound glamorous and great, you know.
Yeah.
But there was a moment,
or justify it, you know.
Yeah, but there was a moment like the guy asked, "Okay, so do you have a boyfriend?" And she said,
"Oh, she said first she had a pimp for a long time."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So this guy's pimping her out, and she's like, he was taking all my money, so I figured it out. Like, I don't need a pimp. I don't need a pimp. You know, he's taking all my money, so he would only give me part of my money. I'm like. So you and I looked at each other. I was like, "This girl is prostitute." And it seemed like she was a fully aware, fully capable, coherent adult. But maybe that's when she's not on
she's
drugs.
Like, I
maybe
figured out a way.
Yeah,
you know? I don't need a pimp. I figured out a way. I was like, get your bag, girl.
Yeah,
get your bag.
I was like,
get
all right,
paid.
as long as it's if you whatever, do your thing. I get it.
But then she said,
"He's like, do you have a boyfriend?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, and then
what did you say?
She said, I don't have a pimp, but I do have a boyfriend.
He said he doesn't get any money?
I only give him half my money.
He said he only takes half my money, so he's not my pimp, but he is my boyfriend. I am in a relationship. And I was like, oh my gosh, you just literally found a better deal than giving up 100% of your income.
But that's when we were like,
I was like, this
girl.
We got to talk. Let's have a conversation. You've made a lot of bad turns in your life. It's not too late. You're 21. It's okay. Yeah. This is a very bad profession. How about go to IT? She's like, she was like, I got dreams. I want to do I love
she said
real
she
estate.
wanted to be a real estate agent.
Real estate agent. I was like, I'll buy a house off of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't got to go to the street, girl.
Stop doing that.
Come on, man. I feel bad.
Let me help you.
Yeah.
But
damn.
please help you.
Help yourself. Help me help you.
Help me
it ain't
help
over
you.
for you.
Yes.
She had a daughter who's like.
But it's that thing where you're young and you're like, that's it. Yeah. I only have but until this age, and then life is over, and you think you set all of these timelines for yourself. Man, if I could give one advice to my young self or to anybody who's young is
younger.
Get rid of anybody who's younger than me. Get rid of that shit. Get rid of the fucking timelines in your head and just live your life.
Yeah.
Literally, there is no rush. And
Let
look
it
at us right
naturally
now.
flow.
Look at us right fucking now. There is nothing you could fucking do. Life will throw shit at you, and you are literally, you can't move and you can't go anywhere.
Oh no, all my plans.
Be fucking present.
Yeah.
Do what you need to do,
Yeah.
but live your life and remember to like enjoy every little moment that you have. I can look back on times where I'm like, you know, I was trying to finish college and I was like, this shit's taking me forever.
You're 23.
You know? You know, I'm like, fuck.
I never finished. I never went back.
Who fucking cares? Ain't nobody asking me for this shit.
No. Well, you get to realize that once
Like,
the goalpost gets moved along, right?
Yeah.
You have this, and I was telling Chris this, my little brother, when it was his birthday yesterday. I was like, "Do you feel any different?" He's like, "Just same as any other day." I was like, "That's a lie," because there's a little bit of an anticipation to get to 21.
yeah.
And after that, it's like the top of a roller coaster. Then it really goes for a ride, and it
But
really
little
starts
kids
to
get
speed
to
up.
live differently these days too, though. You know,
Why?
Like I feel like you have access to a lot more things.
Like what?
I mean, think about it. We started drinking when we were way young. So,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
does
kids.
it even matter if you're 21?
Yeah,
You know,
but I just think about
smoking,
it's
like
about
there's
feeling.
pens and all this shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you've been smoking. Like
Yeah.
shit's so accessible and
Yeah.
easy that I think that like turning 21 might not be as exciting as it was.
But it's just about a feeling of like I'm a man now or I'm a woman now. You know what I mean? And you ain't shit.
I didn't have that feeling till like last year. I'm like,
I'm still looking
I'm
for
a
that.
woman.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a fucking full on woman, and it's amazing.
It took me like 30 years.
It took me so long to like come full circle with that and understand my full power with being a woman and like I said, being a creative and tying all these things in and
looking at your gray hairs in the mirror and you're like, oh shit.
Well, I don't got that yet.
When people are like, well, I do. I was like, people are like, hey sir. I'm like, oh shit. Paper or plastic?
Hey, sir. Yeah, for sure.
I'm like, okay, well, plastic or paper. I don't know.
You gotta take your own bags.
I have reusable bags, but Corona doesn't let you use your own
Apparently,
bags.
They don't want you to bring your own bags.
They're like, leave your stanky ass bags at home. We don't want Corona. Corona ass out of here. How's that latte? Give me a review of
it's
this
cold
chai.
now.
But how was it? And give me your Yelp
So
review.
critical.
I killed mine.
Out of what? 5 stars?
No. Just give me your Yelp review.
Okay.
So what? I'll tell you what. I'll tell people what I made. I'm like getting on my barista game. You seen me? This is a chai latte, and I frost some oat milk. Right. I put it in my milk frother with a little turmeric and a little cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
I left my stevia at my house. Hashtag, I don't know what. And
Hashtag no stevia.
Yeah. Hashtag no stevia. I wish it would have been better. And then I put that together, a little bad boy. It's like a little chai oat milk latte with turmeric and cinnamon.
I think it's great. It's taking me
Doesn't
to
look
one of my
like
favorite Indian restaurants. Doesn't
Really?
look like it. I've
Yeah.
been drinking mine.
Okay.
Oh, you finished yours.
A long time ago.
When did that happen?
Just chugging.
I drink slow. You know, I drink
Yeah,
really
you do.
slow.
Yeah,
I
you do.
like
You
to
eat
hug
slow.
I eat slow and I drink slow for sure.
That's
I
probably
like
better.
to taste every single
anxious.
thing. Yeah, it's the little anxiety in you.
Everything.
I get it. I get it.
Just want to get through life.
I want to feel everything.
It's better.
I want to be human. I want to just
Beautiful. And that's what this is.
Yeah.
We're feeling a lot of shit we
Yes.
ain't felt in a minute.
get comfortable with that.
Yo,
Like I
get
said,
comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Get your
What else can you
motherfucking
do?
bandanas out. Get your masks out.
Make sure
Get
you
your
breathe.
get your little guantes, your little gloves out, and let's go to party. Come on, COVID.
Are we really
come at
supposed
me.
to clean everything when we get back from the supermarket?
You know how I've been.
Why am I asking you?
I feel like I had the Rona in January. I'm not even
So
kidding.
did I.
I've been telling everybody I had a goddamn fever. I haven't had a fever in years. I had a fever.
Yeah.
I was in bed like cold shakes. I swear to God, I was like, ugh.
Yeah,
And I was
same
taking
here.
all the immune stuff. I'm healthy as shit.
I was doing everything.
I never
like
get sick.
A fucking steam bath with eucalyptus
remember that,
and
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
oil of oregano drops. And
Ugh, those are gross.
the rough. Just doing everything in order to feel better because I've never felt that sick.
Maybe it was the flu
I
though.
don't get sick.
Maybe it was the flu
I
though.
don't get sick.
'Cause
I come around sick people and I'm like, I'm good.
Sometimes you gotta get
literally,
humbled, you know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you don't get sick.
Yeah.
You don't get
the
sick.
universe checks you sometimes.
Hashtag
really hard.
Rona. Hashtag Rona.
Yeah. So I
Quarantine
think I had
2020.
it in January.
Same. I think it was here earlier. China's sketchy as hell. Word about
You saw me holding back when you
yeah,
were asking me about
yeah,
China.
yeah. I saw you dancing around it.
I just
It's an interesting place. It seems like a very aggressive.
Interesting. It's very aggressive. It's very in your face.
Fast paced.
If you're asking for a culture shock, that's the place to go to.
It's also communist.
Everywhere else, I was like, I can do this. I can live here. I love it.
It's like a capital communism, right? Capitalist communism. Like everything's still state controlled or state sponsored. I don't know. Somehow connected. It's different. Yeah. But they're making iPhones.
It's a different world. They're making everything.
They had to put nets
around.
They
got WeChat. It's brilliant.
Y'all can Google this. They literally had to put nets around the buildings where they build the iPhones because these people live there and they spend all day putting tiny little iPhone pieces together and they go nuts and they blow a fuse and they jump out of the building and kill themselves. So they had to put nets around the Apple buildings. You can Google this.
Oh yeah, I've seen stuff like that. Actually,
you've seen the nets. People jump out of buildings.
Yeah.
When people say very like common. Kill me now, they mean it over there. I mean, I don't want to be insensitive, but they're like, I'm serious when I say kill me now. Jump out the window.
It's a tough country.
That's hardcore parkour. That's fucked up.
Parkour.
Fucked up. I'm sorry. No,
I know that's the thing. It's like I start talking about it and I feel a bit insensitive. You know?
But you gotta joke around it. I have
the right to have my opinion. Like I've lived there, I experienced it.
Yeah, but
I feel like I can.
It's just not effective. You can't hold people like that under pressure. You know.
Yeah. You can't.
You know.
And people. The universe will explode.
Exactly.
Something's gonna pop. You
know, you're fucking people up.
Being restrictive of something.
You're making them work. You're hammering them into school. You block the internet. They don't have like YouTube or nothing. You have to have a VPN, right? You said.
VPN. Yeah. You know, access.
Because you can't. You know, you can't. Yeah, it's just too much. Well, we're almost out of time. Are we out of time? Yeah, that thing's shutting down. Usually, I like to finish off with. I don't know, your little message. What's your little message for the people? And where can they find your stuff?
A little message. I'll just bring it back to current life at the moment. Be childlike. Enjoy your life. Eat good. Love your body. Love yourself. Love the people around you. Show that love. Be in love. Be human. Experience all those things.
Feel it.
You gotta feel it. It gets uncomfortable, but we're learning so much beauty is coming up, and we need to be inviting of that. Continue to be in the receiving mode of all these lessons that are coming up, and all of these things that they might be triggering or stirring up for you. Check in with yourself. Breathe.
I just took a deep breath right now.
Yeah,
I needed that.
Nice.
And work what? Like you have a site? What's your little site? What's your little handle?
Yeah. Come find me at withlovescarleni.com.
I'll put a little thing in the video. I'll put it in the Apple
my Instagram
thing
for everything, TikTok, all the things. Come cook.
TikTok
come have
dancing.
some fun with me.
Sazon.
Dive deep with me.
Ooh, I like that. Dive deep.
Yeah. Go on this little healthy journey with me. Come dance. Come party. Let's have a good time.
Woo.
Let's live life.
Right. Episode 84. I think it's 84? 84, right? Something like that?
You said 84, yeah.
Glad to be back. We'll be seeing you guys soon.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your beautiful light.
Thank you.
Beautiful little light. Look, Nala jumps in. I don't know if she's in frame. She's over here just saying hi to you. All right, guys. Be good to yourselves, man. It's an interesting time. It's all love, baby. All love. We'll be seeing you guys soon. I'll be doing a lot more episodes. Hashtag not scared of the Rona. Be good. Talk to you soon. Bye.